Hi, I'm AJ Nash, Digital Intelligence Advocate for Authenticate, and today I want to talk a little bit about geopolitics. So this is our Intel Drop for the week. Listen, a lot of folks say, hey, I don't want to be political, and that's fine, and this isn't going to be political, but geopolitics is part of being in cybersecurity. There's just no way around it. The world is interconnected, and things that we don't want to be distracted by, we don't want to be dragged into, are still going to affect us, whether we like it or not, and if we choose to ignore it, that's just putting our organizations at risk. So we need to talk about where geopolitics fits in and where strategic intelligence fits in to our entire picture of how we're doing intelligence and protecting organizations. Right now, we're going to talk about Iran. So the United States bombed Iran. I'm sure everybody knows this at this point. It's well-known news. And when that happens, as most of the world sits in shock and awe for whatever activities happen, whether it was the U.S., whether it was somebody else, it's not about politics here. There's a moment of shock and awe. There's been an attack. There's been destruction. That's how war works, basically, or that's how combat works. But as a security professional, very rapidly, most security professionals turn to, all right, how does this affect my organization? What do we have to do to prepare? It's meant to be a bit of an instinct. And if you don't have that instinct right now, it's okay. Not everybody does. But it's a good time to start training and practicing that thought process. Because as soon as you finish thinking about the bombing, it's time to consider how it's going to affect us. So the U.S. has hit Iran. Iran has the ability to act. They came out very quickly and said, they were going to retaliate against the United States. The DHS released a bulletin, with a summary of the threat to the United States, talked about possibilities of physical attacks, of cyber attacks, whether it was going to be hacktivists, whether it was going to be nation-state actors, and gave off, a lot of targets. So as an organization, a mature intelligence organization, we should be getting those reports and quickly consuming those. Jan Easterly came out with some statements on the topic. She's not in the government anymore, but she is certainly an expert. There were other reports that came out, a lot of news reporting. And that's fine. That tells us, what the government has said. But after that, it's about, well, who do we think the threat's going to be? So in this case, it's Iran. So do you already have, as an organization, information on Iranian threat actors and how they relate to you? Because the other piece here is to understand, does this matter to us? It doesn't matter to everybody necessarily. So it's very easy to react to things that we shouldn't react to, or very easy to miss things that we should not be missing. It just depends on what the context is. So in this case, again, Iranian actors, very quickly we should be getting spun up on APT-33, APT-42, oil rig. These are organizations, threat acting groups that have taken action in the past, and we have documented actions from them. We know what their TTPs are. And so organizations should very quickly be taking a look and saying, hey, who are the Iranian threat actors and groups? What are their TTPs? How do they align to us? Are we a target? Are we one of the targets? Are we one of the industries that these groups have been known to go after? And if so, what should we be doing about that? In the event of Iran, right? APT-33, as I mentioned, aviation industry, energy sector, industrial control systems, APT-34, government espionage. Not everything's going to be an attack. It might be an opportunity to take a look at, are we being surveilled? APT-35, spear phishing and media impersonations. The Iranian cyber army has been known for DDoSs and ideological defacements, more of a hacktivist action. Also, there were reports of possibly AI. Again, AI is everywhere, of course, and cyber actors are using it. But the opportunity here for Iranians potentially to launch attacks that are AI-focused, to do impersonations, to do malignment, to conduct fraud. So anyway, the big point here is, and I gather for a lot of senior Intel people who've been doing this a while, this will seem like old hat, but not everybody thinks this way. This is how Intel people think every minute of every day, quite frankly, is how dangerous is the world? How does this affect us? And what should we be doing about it? And how quickly can we pivot to provide those kind of answers to leadership so they can make the informed decisions on whether we really should worry about this or whether it's just not our problem right now because we're not in that industry or we're not in that region. So, right now it's Iran. It could be somebody else. We have new sanctions on North Korea. It could be North Korea. We've got a Russia-Ukraine war still going on. We've got Israel is still in combat operations. Where you are as an organization, where you do business in the world, where you have people physically located, who you do business with, these are all things that cyber intelligence professionals and really security intelligence and just intelligence professionals in general should know and understand about their organization so you can have that holistic picture of what's going on in the world, why does that matter to me, and what should we be doing about it. So anyway, that's the quick intel drop for today. Again, I'm AJ Nash, digital intelligence advocate for Authenticate. For more information on what Authenticate can do for you and the platform, the Silo platform, and how to use it, I've been a big fan for about 9-10 years now. Feel free to reach out to Authenticate. That's authentic and the number 8.com, or come find me. Thanks.